Hey folks, this is Kalani. Raids open up tonight for the US and tomorrow for the EU, so let's have a look at what you should be doing to get yourself ready and prepared. Before you step foot inside any raid, you need to get your hands on as many bonus reroll tokens as possible. These are limited to 3 per week from the proper source, which is in Ashran. You'll find a vendor there who sells them for gold, garrison resources, apexis crystals and honor. You'll be able to purchase 3 from them, and then from there you're kind of looking at a bit of luck, really, from your follower missions. You can get 1 from your war mill level 3, but most folk probably won't have their hands on 1 just yet, so if you've had any follower missions up to now which award those seals, have fun, I guess. Better chance at better loot, which is always shiny. So from there, it's all about preparation. Talking about your gear, it's going to be the last chance to get any of those pieces which you want from the dungeon loot tables before stepping foot into your raids, so make sure you've got the shiniest pieces available to you. World bosses are spawning now. I believe Talna is the one which is spawning this week and the other will spawn next week, but those drop 650 gear, so go get them, Tiger. 650 gear, it's all on personal loot usually, and it doesn't take too long to down. You might have to do a little bit of corpse running, but it shouldn't be too difficult, and there's a chance at 650 loot. Whether it's usable or not is obviously up to you. BOEs are still a perfectly viable option. You've got all your Dark Moon card trinkets if they fill a nice spot for you. You know, if you're still rocking a 615 trinket, that might be a way to get a little more DPS, a little more healing out there, or, you know, survive that bigger blow. And then if you're up for it, challenge modes do drop 640 gear from a cache, which you get for basically completing the challenge mode daily. So you never know, you might get lucky with today's. Enhancements on your gear are always going to be incredibly important because you want to squeeze that extra little bit of DPS out to beat the enrage timer. You want to stay alive that 1 second longer to get that even stronger heal out. Basically, it's just more stats. More stats means more win, which means more gear in the long run. So remember to throw a gem in any of your sockets and sort enchants for your neck, cloak, rings and weapon. Make sure you got all those shiny bits and pieces going forward. An extra 500 DPS may not sound like a lot, but trust me, it can mean the difference between a wipe or not. You don't want to be on a 1% wipe, and it's painful. It's painful, especially when you know you could have done a little bit more. Then make sure you're getting all the right stuff. So if you want crit, get crit. Don't get haste because it's cheaper. Get yourself some of that shiny crit and rock the DPS meters. Consumables are going to be incredibly important. You've got your feasts for your food buffs. Remember that you can get 75 stat feasts from cooking, both the fish and meat variations, but you can only get 100 stat feasts from your barn. That needs to be level 2, and you need to go catch river beasts or boars. So if you want the 100 stat feasts, you're going to do a little bit of work, and you're probably going to have to have already done that work already. But don't fret, because you can get personal stat food for yourself, which can be 100 stats. That's from cooking. To get the 100 stat food, you need to combine the 75 stat food from both the fish and meat variations. So 75 crit fish plus 75 crit meat equals 100 crit food, which is going to be delightful. But if you can't afford any of that, if you don't have the cooking, if you can't get it for yourself, then you can stick with 75 stat feasts. Just hope you don't get a 0.1% wipe. Now, flasks, obviously, very important. You can get the 200 stats flask from the inn, the garrison building, but if you don't have access to that, you can get 200 and 250 from alchemy. The 251 is a lot more expensive, obviously, and relies quite heavily on alchemists' cooldowns. So there's going to be maybe a little bit of a fight for the 250 flasks, but 200 flask is better than nothing. Make sure to bring enough potions for yourself if you're rocking DPS especially. Those potions really can make a difference. The amount of agility, strength, and intellect you get from the potion is kind of ridiculous when you look at your own stats. It gives you a huge chunk and a huge burst of damage, so make sure you bring enough potions to pre-pot as well. Squeeze out every little bit of damage. From there, you've got one option, and I hope it's not an option for you, but if you don't have a bloodlust in your raid, make sure you're bringing some drums of rage. They can be made by a leatherworker for 5 leathers, the Savage Beast hide, so it's kind of cheap, and if you don't have a Bloodlust, they kind of are required, I'll be honest. Although, if you don't have a Mage, Shaman or Hunter with BM in your raid, I'd say you're looking a little iffy anyway, but if you don't have a Bloodlust, that is a very good alternative. So remember, get all your gear ready with enhancements, your gems, your enchants, get your consumables ready, hopefully you've got someone preparing feasts for everyone, your flasks and potions, and then make sure you've got a Bloodlust from somewhere. Good luck guys, raids come out tonight, straight into High Mall Normal, straight into Heroic next week. That's the dream. That's the dream, we're sticking with it. But good luck guys, I hope you have a blast tonight. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.